Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the vast open world of 1987 China. Here is where we begin the second chapter to Ryo Hazuki's journey of seeking the man who has murdered his father. Here is where we will learn how to balance himself along with what is around him. Here, he will meet new allies and even some new enemies. Here is where Ryo's life begins to change in many different ways. All in the vast open world of Shenmue II. Shenmue II. Jeez, what can I say about this game? It's my favorite game of all time, and I have never reviewed it before. This will be my first time doing so I feel a little nervous going into this. I don't know if my words and special editing tricks alone can showcase how amazing and beautiful this game really is. They can't. I highly recommend everyone out there watching this video to check this game out in any way that you can. It is a phenomenal gaming experience just on its own. You really should play Shenmue I first before you check this game out, as I've thoroughly explained in my last video. But if you just can't find yourself to enjoy it and really want to skip through it, then alright. I mean, that's your choice, but I would not do that. Playing through and finishing Shenmue I strongly benefits your experiences for Shenmue II, especially if you are not playing the Xbox original version of Shenmue II. In case if you have not watched my Shenmue I review, Shenmue 1 and 2 connect. They are essentially one game, one story, one journey, with everything that you do as Ryo Hazuki in Shenmue 1 affects the outcomes of his life moving forward into Shenmue 2. Shenmue 1 and 2's save data connects from the first game over to the second one. Not many games out there share the same practice, but I wish that more did. It doesn't play into effect with like unlockables or special clothes or special upgrades or special DLC packs or anything strange like that. No, it affects the main game, the story, the meat and potatoes of what you'll be playing if the save data are shared. If you go into Shenmue 2 without finishing and transferring your data from Shenmue 1, your experiences may not be as pleasant at first as what you may have expected, especially if you did not defeat Chai from the U arcade in Shenmue 1. Yeah, that's going to affect Ryo's combat skills greatly, so make sure to do that. Okay, if you're a little lost into what I am talking about, please go and rewatch or watch for the first time my Shenmue I review to help you get up to speed. As I have mentioned before, I will be playing through the PC version of Shenmue II with the Special K and Forklift mod loaders enabled. With these two mod loaders put together, you are guaranteed to get the best version/experience out of Shenmue that you possibly can get currently. I will put up a card in the video and a link in the description of where you can download these mods, as well as a step-by-step guide on how to install them. There are a few different ways on how to play Shenmue II, but this way is the most effective and easiest to do so. If you want to play Shenmue II on the original Dreamcast, things may be a little complicated in that area depending on how you'd want to play it. If you want to play Shenmue II in English on the original hardware that it was designed for, there is a special speech mod out there to download. You'd also need a disc burning software and even a specific kind of Dreamcast to do so. You will also need 4 blank CD-ROM discs and possibly even a 4 by whatever it's called, like jewel case disc holder, a jewel case that can hold 4 discs. I'll make a video explaining this method at another time. But yes, playing Shenmue II in English on the original Sega Dreamcast is 110% possible. However, it's not as practical or as fun as it is on the PC. Honestly, I do love playing these games on the Dreamcast, but this is seriously the way to go for Shenmue. Now, I only hope that Shenmue 2 and 3's save data could possibly connect for at least the PC version of these games. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not, but I really honestly hope that Sega and YestNet and Deep Silver can figure out a way of doing such a beneficial task for these games. We don't need a Shenmue 1 and 2 full-on remake as much as we need the ability to connect these games still. To me, personally, that is much more important. It's a part of what originally was Yu Suzuki's original plan and vision. If it's not going to happen, which I have a feeling that it may not, it would cause a great sadness in my heart, along with many other Shenmue players out there who have felt how impactful this concept was. Hopefully, we could maybe mod the games one day to do so. If we were to get Shenmue 1 and 2 HD remake, as in if they had the same visuals as Shenmue 3, if that were to happen, then maybe it's possible for Shenmue 2 and 3 to connect. But that is a very important factor to the overall vision of Shenmue, and if it's removed, then, well, I feel that a piece of Shenmue may die if that would happen. But I digress. Let's move on to Shenmue 2's story. Before we get into the game itself, I mentioned before my Shenmue 1 review about the Chapter 2 mini-comic story. See, Shenmue as a whole is a 16-chapter story. Shenmue 1 is just Chapter 1 of the series. As for Shenmue 2, it's chapters 3 to 6, with Shenmue 3 starting at Chapter 7 and moving forward. So, where is Chapter 2 at? Right here, actually. These are 4 separate mini-comic stories that were only featured in the Xbox version of Shenmue 2. They take place at random points in the story, but none of them surpass the events of Shenmue 2, meaning that they don't take place during Shenmue 3 or before it, technically. They do take place before it, but they don't take place between Shenmue 2 and Shenmue 3. The first one is a bit of an origin story between a new character named Joy and someone that we are already familiar with, Guizhang. The second one showcases the relationship between 2 new characters, Ren and Wang. The third one gives a little more insight on 2 other new characters, Shuing and Fangmei. The fourth and last one takes place between Shenmue 1 and 2, when our main protagonist Ryo has another encounter with Landy's golem-like lackey Chai on the boat that he's taking to China. These comics are really neat and do help to the overall Shenmue story. However, they don't feel 100% necessary. To me, Shenmue is a game first and a story second. Sort of. Let me explain what I'm talking about. The series will not be as captivating and important without story for sure. I believe that, yes, it is a huge factor to the series, but it's told and showcased best through gameplay rather than footage, images, or text. Shenmue would not be Shenmue if the journey was told outside of being a video game. As if what I'm trying to say is, if Shenmue was adapted to a comic book or something else, it wouldn't be the same. Thankfully, Yu Suzuki agrees with me 100% on this. He believes that Shenmue is a game and a story at the same time, similar to how I feel, and I'm glad that he feels that way. Shenmue 2 starts exactly where Shenmue 1 left off, with Ryo leaving his homeworld behind and entering a brand new unknown one for him to explore, whether he asked to or not. His main mission has not changed, to find Lan Di, However, he also learns a little more about Lan Di and his father in Shenmue II. We start off with Ryo stepping into China, and a few unexpected events happen to him right off the bat. He first encounters a peaceful elder couple who are sharing a tune to the general public.
Traveler, stay and listen to a song.
It's a song wishing luck to travelers. Put some money in. It'll bring good luck.
Young man, where are you headed to?
I'm looking for a place called Wanzai.
Wanzai is that way.
Thank you very much.
Then, a few locals quickly see Ryo, notice that he is Japanese, and immediately harass him. I guess that these people are scam artist tour attractions, in quotation marks, for tourists who just entered China. One man takes Ryo's photo and wants to sell it to him for a decent price. Then, these two approach Ryo.
Welcome! Welcome to Hong Kong! Looking for fun? Do you need a guide?
Are you a lone boy? You need a place to stay?
Need a tour? It'll be cheap.
Hey, handsome! Let me take your photo!
Someone just took a picture of you.
Huh?
He's going to try and sell it to you later. He'll be persistent, but you don't have to buy it.
Okay.
Be careful. Not all people are nice in Hong Kong.
I understand.
If you need a place to stay, try that Free Stay Lodge.
Free Stay Lodge?
You can always stay there for free.
You are so kind.
You were good to her on the ship when she was scared. Well, take care of yourself.
Bye, Ryo.
Goodbye.
This is the mother and the daughter that Ryo helped defend against Chai back on the boat in the Shenmue II Chapter 2 mini-comic. It was the last one, the fourth one, if you remember. I personally think that this little moment is pretty neat, that these two were added into the game. Then, before Ryo knows it, he's stopped in his tracks by an unexpected encounter from a very outgoing girl named Joy.
Get out of my way!
What the?
Watch where you're going, you punk!
That goes for you too, barging into people like that.
You must be Japanese.
Yes.
Watch out! Here in Hong Kong, you can easily get run over.
Where's Wanzai?
Huh?
Wanzai.
Oh, it's that way.
I see.
Hey, what's your name?
Yo.
Yo, I'm Joy. You better watch out. There are lots of thieves here.
Okay, yeah, no, we're not going to continue without me saying anything. I know that was probably really strange to see. Before we keep going with the review, I know what you just saw with Joy's character model, with her looking all dark and black and stuff there, with her skin not loading in correctly, and I have a lot to explain what is going on here, and their eyes looking creepy and whatnot. The blackout with those textures is not a part of the original vanilla-based game, meaning that Shenmue II does not come with that look. No. That was because there was a goof-up with the Shenmue texture mods that I currently have installed. These mods are good, don't get me wrong, and do have more benefits than flaws, but they do lead to some very goofy, questionable scenes that I'm going to show you right now. Yeah, I could not resist showing you guys what happens when you install these mods. This may not happen to you, but it's happened to me with at least Shenmue II. This kind of thing did not happen with the first game. Seriously, I had no idea that this stuff was going to happen. I didn't know. This is the first time experience going through this with these mods installed. This is the first time I played the PC version of Shenmue II. These mod loaders and patches haven't really been updated since the game has been released, and that was just over a year ago. So whoever is in charge of keeping these questionable moments from happening, please fix them, and maybe soon, or not. I wouldn't mind seeing Ryo do jumping jacks when he's about to go run and kick some ass with Ren each time I play this game. Alright, back to the story. Joy actually helps Ryo out a bit in this beginning sequence. What happens to Ryo next is just the absolute worst. He gets his money stolen.
I'm scared! They're going to kill me! I didn't do anything!
Hand over the kid if you don't want to get hurt!
What are you going to do?
It's none of your business!
I don't think so.
Looks like he wants to get hurt.
I'm not the one who'll get hurt here.
Wong, now!
Huh?
Run!
What the? Wait! I lost them. The Phoenix mirror's inside that bag.
After Ryo catches up to this kid, who turns out to be Wong, he has to fight these two thugs named Sam and Larry. This is your first official fight in Shenmue II. If you defeated Chai at the arcade in the previous game, Ryo will almost instantly feel a lot more satisfying to control in combat. His movements will feel more swift and more precise, and it just gets better as you progress through the game. You cannot train by yourself in Shenmue II anymore, like the previous game, but your moves and techniques do improve ever so slightly after each battle. Wong gives him back his belongings, but all of the money that Ryo had is now gone. Not too long after, he runs into Joy again and explains what had just happened. And so, she offers him up a job for tomorrow morning and recommends that he stays at a nearby hotel in Wanzai called the Come Over Guest House. This is how you're introduced to jobs in the game. You meet up with this guy called Dulin, and he helps you shift crates from one platform onto another. It's not a bad way to make money in Shenmue II. However, you'll have to deal with this a lot.
I'm Dulin. Good to see you.
Hi, I'm Dio.
Let's get started then. Move as I tell you to.
Sure.
Okay, we're going to carry it over there. It's heavy. Don't drop it. Here. Left. Left. Okay, unless I tell you otherwise, keep pushing forward.
Sure.
Yeah. Left. Yeah. Left. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah, Dulin does this every time that you work with him. Now, I really do like this character. He even helps Ryo out later in a scene that you can choose to activate. He teaches him a technique. However, his instructions on crate moving can be very tedious and annoying. Like, look at this moment for example.
Left. Right. Left, left. Left, left, left. Push the number of times that I tell you. Here.
What the hell, Dulin? Why do you give Ryo such unnecessary instructions on moving these crates? More importantly, why do you, Shenmue II, do this to me or us, the players? It's not always fun, and I sometimes feel a little bad after I drop the crates here, and I shouldn't have to because I'm playing a video game, but I do anyways. Maybe that's a part of helping Shenmue feel like a living, breathing world. You mess up the work at your job, you get scolded, you feel a little guilty about it, or you may feel like, man, fuck you for being like that, and sometimes I do feel the way at Dulin too. Shenmue does a pretty decent job at simulating what it's like to work at a job, sure, but My theory why Doolin does this is because it exercises their legs and their bodies, and okay, fine, but does it really have to say left and right so many times? Is that really necessary? No, I don't think so. Anyways, Ryo isn't just in China to find Lan Di. Before he had left for his trip to Hong Kong, Master Chen advised Ryo to find Master Li Xiaotao. Li Xiaotao knows the person who had sent Ryo's father the letter that had warned him of Lan Di's encounter. That person is Yuanda Zhu. Ryo needs to find Yuanda Zhu to get some answers about his father Iwao and Lan Di. However, again, he needs to find Master Tao before he does that. Eventually, Ryo finds out that Master Tao is currently resonating at a temple in Scarlet Hills called the Man Mo Temple. When he first enters the temple, he is met with a very important task.
Do you happen to know Li Xiaotao?
You are?
I come from Japan, and I'm looking for Li Xiaotao.
From Japan. I'm sorry, but I do not know about Li Xiaotao.
Oh.
Do you wish to meet the master?
You know Li Xiaotao? Here's my letter of introduction.
Introduction letter. Yao Wen Chen. I've heard the name from Li Xiaotao.
Then?
But this letter will not be enough for you to see the master.
What?
Do you know the four voodoo?
For voodoo?
I can tell that you know the martial arts. Voodoo is necessary for those who master the art.
I don't know.
If you understand voodoo, then you will have your meeting.
For voodoo
is one of my favorite things about Shenmue II, the 4 Voodoo. They are very important in Ryo's growth as both a character and a martial artist. He must learn these 4 very important principles, not just to meet Master Li Xiaotao, but to improve himself as a person. He doesn't fully see it yet. I don't think even by the end of this game he does. But that is what they are for. Ryo is very hell-bent on finding Lan Di and avenging his father. But this is one of the few times where he figures out why that isn't necessarily 100% right to do. I'll go over it more later in this review. Eventually, Ryo meets 4 very important masters / people to help him learn the principles. First, he meets up with Zhenmin Tao, who teaches Ryo a thing or two about Tai Chi. He practices it daily and shows Ryo a technique called the Iron Palm after the two went through a quick sparring match. Then, when Ryo asks Zhenmin about the voodoo, he has this to say.
You have an aptitude for the move. I was not mistaken.
Your promise. Tell me about the voodoo.
Every day without neglect to keep training. That is one of the voodoo. Gong.
Gon, one of the Wudu.
Afterwards, Ryo heads to the next martial artist master to help him learn the second Wudu. He meets up with Master Zhou at the Guang Martial Arts School. Master Zhou informs Ryo that he cannot advise him about the Wudu for a very deep and sad reason.
Please tell me about Wudu.
There is a natural order to things. Give me your reason first.
To meet another master.
Your eyes tell me that you are serious in your plight, but I am not qualified to tell you about Wudu.
Why is that?
I have ruined a man's life.
What do you mean by that?
There is a street performer in the Golden Quarter showing off martial arts.
A street performer?
He was my disciple, but I expelled him. It is all my fault that he has fallen onto the wrong path. A man who could not even lead his disciple has no right to talk about Wudu.
Ryo quickly understands and decides to do something kind of kind-hearted for the two of these guys. He decides to visit the Golden Shopping Mall where the street performer Zhang Quan currently resides. When Zhang Quan and Ryo first meet, the young street performer has an interesting idea.
Never seen you around here. Where are you from?
I come from Japan.
Oh, really?
I'd like to ask you something.
Wait! I'll tell you if you do me a favor. Attention, everyone! Here's a karate expert all the way from Japan. Watch him smash this rock into tiny pieces. If he succeeds, throw in some generous tips.
I don't have a choice.
Come on! Swing your arm high, and as you bring it down, concentrate your power the moment you hit.
I know that.
Well then, do it again. Hit it this time.
Good.
Thank you, thank you. What a surprise. I didn't expect you to be that good. My name is Zon Chuan.
Yo, Hazuki.
How about working with me? We'll make some money. I used to do martial arts, but now I'm down and out.
Perhaps Master Zoshan was your...
How did you know?
Thought so. I heard about you from Master Zoshan.
No way, he wouldn't.
I went to see him. Then he talked about you.
That I was no good?
He said it was his fault, that he was powerless.
For a man like myself? Master. Please wait. Please give this to my master. Don't open the letter.
Ryo eventually returns to Guang Martial Arts School and hands Master Zhou the letter from his old pupil.
Excuse me, Master Zoshan.
So, you wanted to know about the voodoo.
I received it from Zanshuan.
Did you meet Zanshuan?
Yes.
I have broken G, but cannot get rid of Toon nor Fist. Zanshuan.
What does this letter mean?
G is one of the voodoo. Judge yourself without conceit and do not show moves thoughtlessly.
G, one of the voodoo. What does he mean by not being able to get rid of Toon nor Fist?
As those who love songs whistle tunes endlessly, a martial arts master is devoted to training.
Then Zanshuan?
He's broken G and fallen into the role of a street performer. But he hasn't abandoned the path of martial arts. That is what he means. Zanshuan. So you still walk on the path.
Next, Master Zoshan informs Ryo of another martial artist that he is familiar with, a barber who goes by the name of Zhang Yu. When he arrives there and asks about the voodoo, Ryo is then greeted with this very important lesson.
Excuse me, are you Zenyu?
What do you want?
I want to ask you about the voodoo.
The voodoo? Are you familiar with the martial arts?
Yes.
Really? Well, have a seat. I'll trim your hair while I tell you. The voodoo are important to those who study the martial arts. Those without the voodoo often strayed from the path and were hated by others. Those people were often killed when they were off guard. For example, while they were having tea or sitting at the barber's. Listen, do not move, no matter what happens. So young, but you've got guts.
The razor's motion was sharp, but I did not feel any menace.
Be brave and stay calm to make the right decision. That is one of the voodoo. Done.
Done. Be brave. Stay calm in order to judge correctly.
If you train hard, you'll be a master of martial arts.
Finally, Ryo heads to the Yantian apartments to learn the final voodoo from Master Guizhen. Master Li Xiaotao actually used to live here with Master Guizhen, as this was the first location Ryo went to visit to find Master Tao. However, when he arrived here again, he found Master Guizhen to be in a bit of trouble.
You are so persistent. I told you I'm not leaving this place.
You disgusting old woman.
We were too soft on her. We'll show her.
You again.
Who are you?
So you're the land sharks.
What? You want to fight? You! You?
No! You're not one of them.
No.
So, what do you want?
I was told that Guishan knows about the voodoo. I learned Gon, Dan, and Ji, but there's one more.
I shall tell you.
Huh?
I am Gui Sheng.
You are?
Why did you save me?
Why? Wouldn't anyone?
To act without hesitation. To do what is right. That is the last of the voodoo.
Wait. What do you call it?
I forgot. Go to Mammo Temple and ask Master Mo.
Master Mo at Manmo Temple.
And so, Ryo decides to return to Manmo Temple, where he would have to discover the final name of the voodoo on his own. This time, he couldn't just enter the temple. He had to first get by one of the monks, who was busy sweeping the outside entrance ground, and then, he had to get through this guy.
Excuse me.
Why am I the only one cleaning away the soot?
Excuse me.
What? You can't be here during this hour.
I'm here to see Master Mo.
Huh? If you're here to pray, come back later.
Please, I need to ask something.
Well, then you should give service first.
Service?
Yes. How about cleaning away the soot here?
All right, I'll do it.
Then start here. Wipe the walls clean. I have to give service in the library. Yahoo!
Ryo swipes and swipes and swipes, and eventually he finds all 4 of the voodoo names, including the final and 4th one, Yi. And after discovering and learning all 4 of the voodoo, he is finally ready to meet Master Li Xiao Tao.
This is Yi. Act without hesitation, to do the right thing. The 4th voodoo, which Guishan told me about.
So, now you know. The 4 voodoo are Gon, Dan, Ji, and Yi.
Are you not Li Xiaotao?
Why seek the Master?
I was told to seek help in order to find young Dazu.
Young Dazu?
Young Dazu knows why my father was killed by Lan Di.
Do you wish to take revenge?
I swore that I would.
Knowing that you will go astray, would your father wish this? To go astray is to take an immoral path. Taking revenge is no different from murder. Going astray is...
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the Master here.
She is Li Xiaotao.
Huh?
Out of the 4 Udu, you only have Gon and Dai.
This entire section, this whole quest, searching the 4 Wudu and meeting Master Li Xiaotao, it's fucking beautiful, everyone. It really, really is fucking beautiful. I really mean it. This is one of the smartest things that I have ever seen in a video game. In fact, this whole Manmo Temple / 4 Wudu quest came from the very first prototype of what Shenmue is now. The old man in the peach tree. I think it's time I talked about this prototype. Before working on what would be Shenmue, Yu Suzuki had come up with something in his brain back in the early 90s. After researching Japanese role-playing games in that same time, he immediately found issues with these games. For example, he didn't like that walking animations continued when players walked into walls, or that you couldn't talk to an NPC without directly facing them. Dissatisfied, he set out to solve some of these problems with what would eventually become Shenmue. The first prototype began back in 1995. The Old Man in the Peach Tree was to be a Sega Saturn title that would increase freedom of conversation and controllability, as well as give player free motion and promote conversation with the world's characters. It would follow the player in a third-person view and would be complemented with cinematics. It was to be set in 1950s China in the city of Liuwang, an idea that came to Suzuki after visiting the country in 1993. It would tell the story of a man named Taro. This young man would have visited China to search for a kung fu master named Ryu, not Ryo. In the prototype, players approach an old man and ask him if he knows about Ryu. The old man responds that he wants to eat a peach and will tell Taru where Ryo is if he brings him a peach. At the end of the game prototype, Taru witnesses the old man skip stones across the water that kill a fish each time they hit the surface. This leads him to believe the old man is Grandmaster Ryu. Now, there's a few things I have to clarify. First of all, I mentioned that the prototype takes place in 1950s China. Now, the reason why they decided to change the time period to 1980s is because most of the staff members that designed Shenmue claimed that they didn't really grow up during that time. Well, they didn't claim it, they flat out didn't. They grew up during more so during the 70s and 80s, so they decided to go with that era at the end of the production. And also, this prototype story is not exactly the same story as the search for Master Li Xiaotao. However, the ideas are pretty much one and the same. Yes, I could have mentioned this prototype and go over it a bit in my Shenmue I review, but if I did that, then we wouldn't have the mystery and build-up for Tao quite as well, now would we? Very clever. Master Li Xiaotao, or better known as Shuing, is for sure more than what meets the eye. She asks Ryo to come at her, and when he does, he cannot even lay a single hit on her. Look at her go! Her movements are very advanced for Ryo's skill set, and it looks like that she's not even breaking a sweat. She is miles above Ryo in terms of skill for sure. She is one hell of a martial arts master. Not one to be tampered with. Now, no one knows for certain because the journey of Shenmue / the game / the story is not quite finished yet. But people have speculated that both Lan Di and Shuing's skill sets are identical. You can kind of tell by what we see in Shenmue so far. Say, Lan Di is sort of the equivalent to Darth Sidious or Darth Vader, and Shuing is basically Master Yoda in the story. Or in terms of skill set, that's basically who they would be, in Dark and Light, Yin and Yang. And their skills, again, I mean, if you see them fight, you can just kind of tell. They're very similar. There are also a few theories about how they may be related, but I'll touch more on this later. Anyways, Shuing is a really good teacher / master to Ryo. She even gives him a place to stay while he's under her teachings. Plus, she talks to Ryo about his intent on murdering Lan Di and goes into why that is not right in very deep ways. For the time being though, she teaches Ryo a thing or two about patience. First, she gives him a task. He has to help out one of the monk workers to air out these books every single day in the morning. He has to take a stack of books from the temple library and set them on tables outside. These aren't too bad to play through, especially with the nice music that plays here. Depending on if you walk or run with Ryo, the game will give you more or less QTE button props to keep the stack of books balanced. If you do an alright job at least, then Hanhua Liu will give Ryo a new skill move every day. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I just mentioned this guy right here in the white robe, but I kid you not, I did not know his name until I had to look it up through the series' wiki page. I don't believe his name was ever mentioned in the game. Maybe Shuing addresses him as Master Liu once or twice, but I could be wrong. I always thought his name was possibly Master Mo, but it's not. That's technically Li Xiaotao, Shuing. But I don't know. Eventually, Ryo hears about a book titled The Wuling Shu. It's not just any other book though. Ryo finds out that the book has been written by the man who may know something about his father's death or who he was as a person, Yan Dazu. The same man that Master Chen back in Shenmue I has asked him to meet with. He decides to ask Master Shuing about this book, and when he does, something very serious happens. Watch, and you'll learn.
Shuing, please show me the Wuling Shu.
The Wuling Shu?
I heard that young Dazu wrote that book. There is something I'd like to check.
No.
Why not?
You don't need it yet.
Oh. Please wait. Please let me see the Wuling Shu. Oh.
Try it.
Huh?
Even a single leaf becomes impossible to catch, unless you're calm enough to concentrate. Right now, all you have on your mind is revenge. You're impatient. Calm yourself to realize the true nature of things.
The true nature of things.
Then you'll know how to catch a falling leaf. Only then will we talk about the Wuling Shu.
I did it!
Now you know how.
Yes, you promised. Please let me see the Wuling Shu.
You don't sound like you've calmed yourself.
But...
catching it once or twice doesn't rid you of impatience. Catch the leaves 3 times consecutively.
You're serious?
Only then will we talk about the Wuling Shu. Understand?
3 times in a row. I don't have a choice. I did it! 2 more times. Good. If I can catch just one more. Good. I got it.
You've regained your calm, but far from a mind as clear as a polished mirror.
Mind as clear as a polished mirror?
Clear your mind like the quiet surface of the water. Concentrate on yourself, on staying calm. That is the state of the serene mind, like a polished mirror.
Stay calm and concentrate on yourself.
Here, as promised. Treat it with care. There is no other copy. Understand?
Young Da Zu. This is the book. Shenmue I, a northern style based on Wu Hin Chun. This is Su Ming Zhao, the master of Tiger Swallow style. Su Ming Zhao.
Do you remember Sun Ming Zhao?
Lan Di spoke of him. What is this piece of paper? Young Da Zu. He knows why my father had to die. This piece of paper is my only clue to Zu's whereabouts.
This part, this moment, this lesson in Shenmue II is probably the most important scene in the whole series so far. This scene, this beautiful moment is a lot more than what meets the eye. She's not just showing Ryo how to catch Elise because it looks impressive or unique. She is showing him, teaching him inner peace, patience, and purity within himself as a person. Ryo is very, very gung-ho on finding Lan Di, defeating him and getting his revenge for his father. However, she knows how this will affect Ryo one way or another. You see, later on in the story, Ryo finds out that Shuing has a brother with the name of Ziming Hong. When both her and Ziming were little, their parents' lives were taken. They were murdered, and Ziming Hong vowed to avenge his parents no matter the cost. Doesn't that sound familiar? She has seen this pain before, and she does not want anyone else to go through it. Now, who else in the story of Shenmue has lost a parent due to murder, aside from Ryo? That's right, the villain, Lan Di. Ziming Hong and Lan Di and Shuing all honestly do look a little similar, and yeah, it is possible that Lan Di is indeed Ziming, which would make him Li Xiaotao's brother. Plus, they both have a couple of aliases or different names, and they have very similar techniques. I'm talking about both Shuing and Lan Di. You know, how she goes by Li Xiaotao and Shuing, and how he goes by Lan Di, and We find out that he actually has a different name too in Shenmue II, I believe. So as I mentioned how they have very similar techniques, it's possible that they were trained together under the same master. Well, Shenmue II story never tells us any of these theories/ideas to be true or not. We're just gonna have to wait for Shenmue 3 and beyond to really find out who Zooming is or was, and if Lan Di and Master Li Xiaotao really did train together, and if they're brother and sister. We'll have to find out. That piece of paper that fell out of the woolen shoe book, it's very important to helping Ryo find Yan Dazu. He later on finds out that it's some sort of code, a message to contact agents who work with Yan Dazao. It is known as the Chawan sign. He has to perform it at either a diner or restaurant using 4 small circular ceramic cups. Eventually, he is able to meet with one of Yan Dazu's agents. Please ignore the strange face texture in the background where the glass window is supposed to be, by the way. You can see that. When he does, they are quickly ambushed by members of the Chi-Yu men. Ryo can't take these men down so easily. He circles a bit while fighting them. And so, out of nowhere, a familiar and mysterious face grants him some help. After the rough encounter, Ryo and the agent re-meet in a more private location. Once they do, Ryo decides to show the agent a letter that was written to his father. After this moment, the agent tells Ryo that his name is Zhang, Shuquin Zhang, or Shuguin Zhang. I don't believe he ever says his first name, so I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, but it's spelled S-H-U-Q-I-N, and it's Chinese. He realizes that the Chi-Yu men are growing outside of China and wants to help Ryo out. He tells Ryo to find Ren of Heavens. Ren is quite the character for who he is. He's the leader of a very dangerous gang called the Heavens. In order for Ryo to meet Ren, he has to first gather up $500. It might take you a while to do it, and if so, I recommend that you work closely with Dulin in this part of the story, aka go back to Fortune's Pier, Workers' Pier, and lift crates with him. If you do, he actually ends up teaching you a pretty nifty move around that time. Once Ryo is ready, he goes to Beverly Hills Wharf, where the Heavens are located. He pays up the $500, and Ren finally decides to meet with him.
Are you the one who wants to make a donation?
On one condition. I want to know where young Dazu is.
Oh, easy. No problem. May the gods be with you. Oh, all right. You win. I'll take you to Yandazu.
That better be true.
Go here.
This place.
Fortune's Pier.
So, Ren decides to help Ryo out. He is quite the shifty character, and I kind of see him as the Han Solo of Ryo's quest in a way, if you're familiar with Star Wars. So if you're not too familiar with Star Wars, I'm sorry, but I just can't help but see the similarities. Their relationship/friendship, in quotation marks, is a little similar to how Luke Skywalker and Han Solo first met in A New Hope. Ren has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and Ryo does not fully trust him. However, once Ryo tells Ren of his intentions, Ren decides to help Ryo out, and even gives him a little advice here and there. However, there's another reason why Ren wants to help Ryo out. Money. He can smell the money in the air, as he likes to say in this game. Do you see why I see the Han Solo and Luke Skywalker resemblance? Ryo's got a good heart, you know. Well, I mean, he wants to take a man's life, maybe, for what he did to his father. He wants to fight him at least. And Ren gets it. You know, he understands. Plus, he knows about the Phoenix Mirror, and he's like, ah, I see. So there's a lot. Ren, I mean, and plus he has a lot of charm. Ren is quite the guy. I'm just gonna say that. I love this character. He's probably my favorite character in the whole series. He's a lot of people's favorite characters, next to Ryo. Ren and Guizan, I mean, they're both my favorite characters, and they're both voiced by the same guy too, which just adds to it. I absolutely love these two guys, like seriously. So, with a lot of twists and turns and complicated situations, Ren and Ryo finally do end up meeting with Yonda Zhao. A lot of crazy things do happen in between here and there before they do meet him though. However, I've already spoiled enough of it as it is with the story, and I'd rather that you guys experience these moments for yourselves. And again, I should say, I'm really sorry for the spoilers for Shenmue II, but this is the way this is just the way I thought was appropriate to tell the story, basically. You know, and plus I thought it would just kind of fit with the mood to the video. But anyways, here's what happens when they finally meet with Yonda Zhao, this man that Ryo's been looking for forever now.
Hey! What the hell?
You are young Dazu.
Who are you?
I am Ryo Hazuki.
Hazuki. Are you Iwao's?
He's here! Yonda Zoo's here!
Good work. Thanks to both of you, I was able to find Yonda Zoo.
What? Damn, we're followed.
Finally, I found you, old man.
Uh-oh. Let's run! Ren!
Move over! You're getting on my nerves! Who the hell?
You're awake.
Shuing. Why are you here?
I treated the wound, but you should still take it easy.
Where's young Dazu?
The Yellowhead.
So they took him away. Where's this place?
This is where Zoomin and Shuing grew up.
Zooming?
My brother.
Huh?
He grew up and left here. To avenge.
To avenge?
Our parents were killed. My brother was like you. He sought revenge, and he was lost to the evil path. You must not succumb to the evil path.
I still must go.
Yo!
Wong,
Are you alright?
where am I?
1000 White Building.
1000 White.
Ren's waiting for you at his hideout.
Alright.
Giant man that Ryo and Ren had to face against, his name is Don Yu, and he's not the smartest tool in the shed, to the least. However, he is still a bit of a threat to our heroes, and even acts as the final boss against Ryo in the game. The Chi-Yu men have clearly succeeded in capturing Yan Dazu, and it's up to Ryo and the others to get him back. From here, Ryo, Zhang, Joy, Wong, Cool Z, and Ren all meet up at Ren's hideout to conduct plans onto getting into one of the most dangerous buildings of Kowloon, the Yellowhead building. Eventually, after many heavy battles, integrity, determination, and triumphs, Ryo succeeds into having access to go into the building. Here he finds Joy being captive. How? Were the Chi-Yu men spying on the protagonists the whole time? It's possible, but that doesn't really matter right now. Ryo has another foe to face against.
Stand back.
Master Baihu.
Do you know her?
Yeah.
Interesting. Get in the ring.
What?
If you can defeat me, I'll give you back the girl.
Better keep your word.
Do not worry. But you have to defeat me first.
Alright. Don't forget what you just said.
Ready? Go!
are pretty tough.
What?
Interesting. Strike me! I was not expecting this.
Give up. You've been defeated.
Speak. Only after you've seen this move!
I win. I'm taking joy.
Your name...
Yo. Hazuki.
Hazuki. I shall remember that name.
Joy.
Yo.
Are you alright? We had a deal. Let's go.
Yeah. There's an elevator. It goes up to the 40th floor.
Joy, what are you doing in a place like this?
Do I have to explain? Wong unlocked the fence in the underground tunnel, and we used the elevator.
That's not what I asked. Why did you come here?
Why? To save you, why else?
I never asked for your help.
What kind of an attitude is that? I was worried about you, so Wong and I...
What?
Wong was taken up to the 40th floor.
What? Wong? Damn. Hang in there, Wong. I'm coming. What the?
Hey! Hey!
That's Ren's voice.
What's taking so long?
It's me.
Where are you now?
On the 40th floor. Joy is with me.
Joy? Whatever. I'll go up there too. Go ahead and search for Zoo.
All right.
Jeez, who does he think he is?
Let's go. Stay close.
Sure.
and Joy quickly rush up to the roof of the Yellowhead building, where they encounter with Don Yu, who has both Wong and Yan Da Zhu captive. However, he's not the only threat that's there.
Let go of me!
Shut up, old man.
Damn! Landy. Huh? What the hell?
Freeze! Or we'll see if this kid can fly.
Yeah! Wong!
If you want the kid to live, stay nice and calm.
Let me go! Let me go!
Look! I've earned the right to serve Master Landy. And this whole city will belong to me!
Yo. Yo. Wait! Landy!
Master Landy! Bunch of rats! I'll smash you into pieces!
Leave the rest to me. Come and get me!
You'd better be ready for this, sir.
Holy fucking shit, guys. When I first saw this back in 2015, it blew my fucking mind. This is a huge deal if you play these games. Seriously. This is one of the most epicest final bosses in any video game of all time and one of the biggest moments of the Shenmue series. It's not my favorite final boss ever, but damn, there is a lot to appreciate here. And it feels important, big, and just, oh my god, so fucking good. As Ryo's battling with Don Yu, he starts remembering Shuing's teachings in order for him to take down the tough giant. Thankfully, it ends up working, and Ryo soon finds himself to be victorious.
He's gone.
Yo! Yo!
I'm not giving up.
So, Iwao was killed by Landi. How cruel can fate be?
Please tell me, why did Landi kill my father?
He was like you. Vengeance.
Vengeance?
Landi avenged the death of his father, Sun Minzao.
Do you remember Sun Mingzao?
Sun Mingzao. That name!
Landi's real name is Long Sun Zhao. He is the son of Sun Mingzao. Landi believed that Sun Mingzao was killed by your father, Iwao Hazuki.
That can't be true! Father would never kill!
I'd like to believe that myself, but I don't know what really happened.
You don't?
But I do know that Sun Mingzao died, and that Iwao brought Zhao's mirrors to Japan.
The mirrors.
Sun Mingzao was my best friend. If he had lived, he would have become a legendary martial arts master.
My father had this mirror.
Oh, there's no mistake. It's the mirror once owned by Sun Mingzao.
Landi took the dragon mirror when he came to kill my father.
Is that so?
I don't want to listen to these depressing stories. I want to know about this mirror here. What the hell is this, huh?
When this phoenix mirror is paired with the dragon mirror, the two form a key.
A key?
Yes. A key to the treasures hidden away in order to revive the Qing dynasty.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Did you hear that? Treasures, he said. I told you, my hunches are always right. And how do we get this treasure, huh?
Excuse me. Could you turn out the lights and light the candle?
Sure.
You should see this.
What's the show?
This is...
These 7 lights indicate the location of the treasure.
Where is that?
A single mirror is not enough.
What?
Only when this is combined with the light pattern from the dragon mirror will we know.
There's no way of finding out with only the Phoenix mirror.
There is a clue. You must go to Guilin.
Guilin?
There is a place where Zhao and Yuao trained when they were young.
My father?
Go to Bailu village in Guilin. The mirrors are made of phantom river stone found only in that village. The descendants of the one who made the mirrors live there too. You might find more information there.
Bailu village.
Randy is headed there as well.
Landy has gone to Guilin?
Yo! You're leaving for Guilin.
Yeah.
Don't push yourself too hard.
You were a lot of help. Thank you.
This is from Ren.
From Ren? Coins. Both sides are heads? This one, both are tails. Ren.
Ren got you again.
I'll keep them as tokens.
See you, Joe.
He's gone. Always taking off without even saying goodbye.
You'll be all right. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
We'll see him again.
Guilin, the treasure of the Qing dynasty. This is getting interesting.
What was that last move?
One of the Bada Chao of Baji Chuan, Demon's Triangle.
Demon's Triangle.
The move is explained in here.
Take it.
You are leaving.
Yes. Lan Di has left for Guilin.
Guilin. Here.
This is...
Look at this, Shuing.
Oh, it's so pretty. Where did you get this?
Doesn't matter. Give me your hand. Yes, cherish it.
I will.
I don't wish you to follow the same path as my brother. Striking with hatred and eventually destroying yourself. I don't want you to follow such a path.
I can understand how your brother felt. You know too how he felt. I won't die. Your brother must be alive somewhere as well.
To Guilin. Bailu village in Guilin.
Bailu village.
Landi is headed there as well.
This is it, guys. This is the ending of Shenmue II, at least the beginning of the end. And Ryo's journey is still far from over from here. This whole entire section of Guilin, it's actually the entire last disc of the original Dreamcast game release. Not only that, this whole section of the game does not even need to be in Shenmue 2. I mean, you guys saw all those cutscenes and videos and parts. It feels like the story was over after he beats Don Yu and travels off to Guilin. I mean, it could have been the beginning of the third game, but I'm glad it's not, because instead, AM2 has decided to give us this nice, peaceful, relaxing, beautiful walk through the land of Guilin. And I freaking love everything about it. I mean, really, they didn't have to put this in here. It's kind of a nice way to show the players that they can just relax after such a long and hard journey. Ryo's quest in Final Land again is not yet over, but it's okay to take a moment to rest as well and just breathe and take in the peace. He hasn't had peace like this in quite some time, and he does actually smile in some parts of this final section. He looks at ease and calm, especially after meeting with someone who is very, very important to the Shenmue story.
Hey, are you alright?
The little deer. Where is the deer? Oh, good. I'm so glad. You saved us.
Are you okay?
Thank you.
Why did you jump in?
I just had to. I had to save it.
Huh?
The white deer is my village's guardian.
A guardian? A white deer. White. By. Deer. Lu.
Bailu village. My home.
Bailu village? Where is this village?
It's up along this river.
Is it far?
I can show you. I'm Shenmue. What's your name?
Yo. Hazuki.
Yo. Follow me.
Shenmue. Shenmue, guys. Her and Ryo, destined to meet. She's been there since the very beginning, at least in Ryo's dreams and in spirit, and even in advertisements? What? Well, yeah, there she is, but it was just kind of funny and strange, but yeah, she's always been there. She also doesn't need to be in this game, but if she wasn't, we would have never gotten to known her until now, until Shenmue III came out. Shortly after the two of them meet, they decide to go to her father's home. Ryo kind of needs to meet with him anyways, as he soon finds out that he is the creator of both the Dragon and Phoenix Mirrors. As Ryo and Shenmue walk through the woods, though, they begin to talk about a lot of different things. Home, friends, townspeople, culture. Just seeing and hearing how different these two lifestyles really are is just kind of calming and peaceful, and also very interesting. And you're just watching them talk, I know, but what they're saying, it just feels important. Their trip takes them 2 days to finally reach their destination, and it may seem like not a lot happens between those 2 days, but everything about these two being together means a lot. For example, here's what happens when they have to camp out for the night.
Are all Japanese women so beautiful?
I'm not sure.
She looks so gentle.
I gave her so much trouble.
Did something happen?
She was kidnapped by a bunch of rough men back home.
And what happened?
I saved her.
That was good.
But she experienced such fear.
Where is she now?
In Canada.
Canada?
A country far away.
Do you wish to see her?
I have things to get done. I have to go through that first.
Really?
Do you always walk these paths alone?
Yes. Did you come to China alone?
Yeah. I went to Hong Kong to meet a master named Li Xiaotao.
Hong Kong. Were you able to meet this person?
Yeah.
Who was this person?
A master of Baji style.
A master?
I have a picture of Master Tao.
Let me see it.
The person dressed in blue.
She's so beautiful. She's the master?
Yeah. She taught me some moves. If I had never met her, I would have been...
My father said people meet because of destiny.
Destiny?
Yes. You didn't meet her by accident. Destiny had guided you to meet her.
Destiny. It's getting late. I think you should get some sleep.
Yes. It'll be a fine day tomorrow. I know because the wind shifted.
You can tell just because of that?
During this season, when the west wind blows, it'll be a fine day.
Really? It's late now. Go ahead and get some sleep. I'll watch the fire.
Thank you. Yo.
Sorry. Did I wake you up?
No, I got some sleep. Daichi, did you learn that from your father too?
No, I learned this in Hong Kong, but I mostly learned from watching. Breathe in the power from the earth and collect it in the center of the abdomen.
There is much power in the trees, water, stones, and everything.
Power in everything?
Yes, I always gain power from the forest.
From the forest?
I'm sorry. Did I wake you?
No. What was that song?
It's an old song of the village.
Of Bailu Village?
Yes. There are many old songs in the village.
What was the meaning of that song?
It's a song about the landscape of Guilin. The mountains of Guilin glisten after the rain. Clear water flows into the spring, which flows into the river of Yingshui Chuan.
Yingshui Chuan.
It's the river where you saved me.
Ah.
In the summer, there are fireflies by the riverside.
So the name Yingshui Chuan means River of Fireflies.
Yes.
I'll watch the fire now, Shenfa.
Thank you.
They finally make it to Shenhua's home. And from here, I am done talking about the story. I'm going to show a sequence of cutscene such moments here, and then the review is going to be practically over. If you want to skip ahead from here, please do not hesitate to. I'll leave a timestamp of where my final thoughts of the game will be. For now, please enjoy the ending of Shenmue II.
Here.
What's this tree?
Shenmue.
Huh?
A tree called Shenmue.
Shenmue.
Every year, at this time of the season, its flowers bloom.
Really?
This tree holds a special meaning for me.
The Shenmue tree has its flowers in bloom again this year.
Shenfa, a beautiful flower.
I know. We will name our child Shenfa.
Shenfa, that is wonderful. The Shenmue tree shall protect her.
The flower of the Shenmue tree is called Shenfa.
That's...
Yes, that's my name.
There was a tree at home that bloomed during the springtime.
At your house?
They were called cherry blossoms. Their petals were pale pink.
Cherry blossoms. Does that tree hold a special meaning for you too?
Yes.
Let's go. It's this way.
This is...
What's wrong?
It's the same. What is this drawing?
My father told me this has been in our family since long, long ago, but he wouldn't tell me anything else about it. Yo, what is this mirror?
I heard that it was given to my father.
To your father? This Phantom Riverstone can only be found in Bailu Village.
Phantom Riverstone?
How did this mirror get to Japan?
I don't know.
My father might know something.
Where is your father now?
He's at the stone pit, gathering Phantom Riverstone.
Where's the stone pit?
Over on the other side of the mountain. He said he was going to finish something. It's been days since he left for the stone pit.
Can you take me there?
I'm going to bring him food tomorrow morning. Come with me.
All right. An interesting sculpture.
The mountains of Guilin made from stalactite.
Stalactite? From a cave nearby?
It was brought from the stone pit. Father likes to look at stones.
Stones?
He says he hears their voices, although I don't know what he means.
Voices from the stone.
Keep her waiting. Let's go see my father.
Yeah.
Here. Take this. It's dark inside.
Huh.
The stone pit is further inside. Follow me.
Yeah.
Here. I always bring him food here. Father! Father! I wonder where he is. He always comes here when I call him. I'll go check the back. There's something wrong. He's always here.
Where can he be?
Well, there's a door beyond here.
Further?
This way.
This is it.
The door's open. It's always been locked.
What's beyond this door?
I don't know. Father never let me inside. Maybe he's in here.
Let's go. This place.
I didn't know there was a place like this in the cave. Joe. Look, there's a path.
Let's go take a look. Shenfa.
Father's writing.
Huh.
Dear Shenfa, my work is done. The phoenix entrusted to our people is now complete. The time of
destiny has come. Shenfa, go with the one who holds the phoenix and find the proof. Yield yourself to the one and go together. I shall give you the family treasure, the sword of 7 stars. Think of the sword as a part of me and keep it with you. I shall always watch over you.
The sword of 7 stars. The one who holds the phoenix. Find the proof?
What is the proof?
I don't know, but there should be some clue here.
Shenfa, let's look for it. Shenfa, did you find a clue?
There should be.
Okay, maybe this sword.
We have to.
I agree. This is...
The same design as the one on the sword. No.
That's it.
Yo. Look, yo.
What is that? Let's go.
Yes.
What is that?
I've never seen that before. Let's go and see.
Alright, let's go. What?
Yo.
Yeah. This is...
Phoenix and dragon.
the same as the mirrors.
My father was carving. From a distant land in the east, from across the sea, he shall appear. He does not know of the strength hidden within him. The strength that would destroy him, the strength that would fulfill his wishes. When he is ready, he shall seek me out, and we shall brave together the rocky path. I shall wait. This encounter has been my destiny since ancient times. A dragon shall emerge from the earth, and dark clouds shall obscure the heavens. A phoenix shall descend from above. Its wings will create a purple wind. In the midst of the pitch-black night, a morning star shall glisten, alone.
What is that poem?
It has been told in the village from long ago.
The one who holds the phoenix.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, that was all of Shenmue II. Well, at least that was my review of the game. This game does honestly have a lot to offer, but unfortunately, it does not have as much side content as the first Shenmue does. Nor does it have the familiarity of characters all around you as well. I mean, obviously, you're going to a new location from where you grew up in the last game. However, it does have a bigger, longer, and deeper story, and new characters that Ryo gets to meet and know along its journey. Also, that epic final boss fight against Don Niu in that moment with the two giant mirrors and the sword in the cave, nothing like that is in the first Shenmue. When I first saw that scene, back in summer of 2015, it blew my mind. I mean, like, I couldn't believe it. That what you just saw was just huge. Now, again, I can't spoil it too much. I'm sorry, because for those who skipped ahead to the video, there is a lot of big epic stuff that happens in the end of Shenmue 2. But I will not say too much more than what I've already said already. But it's pretty damn big. I do love this game a lot, and I love what it has to offer. And you know, you can do little side things too, like you can buy and sell capsule toys, you can buy more techniques from different shops. There aren't really many side missions though. Shenmue 1, there is the kitten, there was the quest with Ryo's friends and rivals, you know, many little moments. There is, you know, all different kinds of interactions with Shenmue 1. That Shenmue 2, it just doesn't have quite the same impact, I would say, or has the same, you know, relationship, or the same kind of like experience, I would say. Most people you talk to, they just help you out finding the next location you have to go to. You don't really get any kind of story with like anyone in this game, except for maybe one character or two characters, and they're both female, and they're both, well, one knows shoeing, and the other one works at the tomato convenience store. They both have a story involved, but it's not entirely worth it. Maybe the duck race is. That was a lot of, you know. But it was really hard to unlock that side quest. Not only that, it just isn't worth it in the end. You just get a gold medal, and you don't really get anything out of it. So, all I have to say is that in terms of side content, Shenmue 1 definitely has more to offer, in my opinion, than Shenmue 2 did. I'm hoping Shenmue 3 has like a lot of side scenes as well, like a Shenmue 1 did when it comes out, or at least Shenmue 4 if they haven't put out Shenmue 3. There's also some extra side content too on the main menu, though. They're just mostly unlockable stuff from replay in the main game. You can replay certain fights between characters, you can rewatch events from Shenmue 1, aka the Digest movie, which is very strange that this is here. You can also replay Yu Suzuki's classic arcade titles too, depending on which ones that you unlock. You have to find 4 of them, and they're not entirely too easy to find. I had to look up a guide to find them all, and it was kind of fun doing it once I knew where they were. You can also take pictures in both the original Xbox and HD versions of the game and view them in your photo gallery. A feature which is kind of strange, but it works. Plus you can change the filtering for some reason, like the colors on the screen. I don't know what that's about, but you can do that. And now, finally, we get to see and play through what will happen next in Ryo Hazuki's story. This is it, everyone. Shenmue 3 will be out there, ready to play for everyone, and just 1 week away from when I'm making / uploading / showing you guys this video from when it's up on YouTube. 1 week away from this date that's uploaded, yes. I'm doing everything that I can to show and tell you why I love these games so much with my YouTube channel. If you have not done already, please play Shenmue. Seriously, you guys are missing out on something huge if you haven't, and important to all of gaming. Anyways guys, this has been Hazuki Warrior 921 with his review of Shenmue II. I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, wish me luck on my journey, quests, and travels on finding the man who has killed Ryo Hazuki's father and kicking his ass. And I wish the same to all of you. See you guys when Shenmue 4 comes out. Farewell.
Shiratsu